And we're fucking back.
Of course. We're always back.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys since yesterday.
That's long. Very long.
It is. It felt long. I had a long night.
I feel like I had enough of you all week.
It's not nice. It's not nice at all. Dude, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole just looking at retro consoles that didn't make it. Consoles that we never even heard of. It was crazy.
Sounds like a personal problem.
For the people who made the consoles, though.
For Adam.
That wasn't even a response.
Jesus Christ.
Anywho. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, anywho. What are we going to talk about today? We're talking about excuses. We're going to talk about excuses, how that leads into doubts, and how to overcome them.
Or how doubt leads to excuses.
There you go. All right.
I want to hear your excuse, Mitch.
4.
I'm still waiting to read the book.
Adam, take it.
That's messed up, man. That is messed up. He works a lot.
Yeah. And then at the same time,
I mean, you're just using excuses now.
well, there's a difference between excuses and reasons. There's a reason why I've been slacking on the comic. It's because I'm working all the time. So the time it takes for me to do the comic is now smaller.
I still hear excuses.
He's saying that in those smaller windows, you can still get some work done. And at the end of the day, you put all those small works together and you'd have enough to make the book or enough to start the book.
But the time it takes is now prolonged.
He's saying that the end of at the end, you still have the finished piece. That's what he's saying. I'm just saying.
Well, he's just impatient.
I'm just saying, when you go to the bathroom, take a half an hour shit. Instead of taking your phone, take your book with you.
I don't think you want to touch my book after that.
I mean, that would be your book.
Exactly.
And you have to retranslate it.
It's a non-poop language.
It's messed up. He came out guns blazing for you.
Yeah, like what's with this rage today?
I'm just saying, we went on this whole journey of JoJo we just finished, and
He's in the mood to battle.
I'm in the mood of reading a comic made by the Final Micho.
Well, you'll get it. I'll just slap it on his face.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh man, but so pretty much excuses. What's your take on it? On why people give excuses?
Why?
Yeah, let's start there.
I mean, I guess the simplest reason for giving an excuse is that it gives justification to whatever it is that you're giving an excuse for. Mm-hmm. It gives you a way out of something you had to do. You know?
Or a way of prolonging a certain result that you want. And you use excuses to delay what you're trying to bring out, so or a creation or some sort of goal.
Or you may have doubt about what you have planned, and you use excuses to get out of doing it because you're unsure what the finished product is going to be. And, you know, you can't fail if you don't make it. You can't say, no, well, you never tried. So, in a sense, you didn't fail what you were trying to do. Your objective is technically a failure, but in your mind, it's like, I didn't really fail because I didn't finish. So there's a way out.
Mm-hmm. I feel like excuse is something where, like, you set yourself a goal. Now, you could be deterred from that goal and use that deterrence as excuses also. Where it could be another person coming into your life, and now you're just trying to use that as an excuse to not fail on something that you saw as a great thing.
I don't know, Meech. I feel like he's coming with this all with you in mind.
I feel it too. I feel it too. This is Attack Meech Day.
I mean, it's 2 years in the making. What? Who?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is insane.
It's not actually 2 years, but I just put a number out there just to signify the length.
That the
of
corona
excuses.
made it longer? That's what it is?
Oh, there is the Rona. You can use that as an excuse to get shit done.
Wow, this is a real attack on me today. This is insane. I don't know whether to take this as an offense or a compliment that you guys are so excited to see anything that I do.
Yeah, because you created good content. If people have not seen his webtoons, Final Micho, go check it out.
All its misspellings.
Yeah, a lot of misspellings.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can read through them and still get the story. It's not like it's unreadable.
But at the same time, though, that's kind of a good way to put it. That even though there's still some errors within the book, I still did what I had to do to get it done. At least I could say, hey, it's out there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's there. You can read it. It's not great, but it's there. And I feel like that's kind of one of the things that a lot of people tend to put doubt in is, like, fucking up so much that they don't want to do it. Like, oh, it's not perfect yet. It's not ready yet. Well, it's like, you don't know what to fix unless you fuck up first.
You know, it's funny when we think about that. Like, let's think about you in particular, right? And storytelling and writing stories, right? A good story goes way beyond like bad spelling and grammar, because you can still read through it and get the story. And if it's a good story, it's going to shine through. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even matter. So there's no reason for you to make excuses and like run away from doing what you got to do.
And let's just put it out there that these little spelling errors are like simple things like there and there. Like, I'm not like fully illiterate. I don't want people thinking that I don't know how to spell things like, I don't know, like coincidence or something.
You can't spell coincidence.
When you put someone on the spot like that.
Fucking spelling bee time.
But anyway, like, continue. Had to put that little safety net there for myself.
But yeah, they're small. It's like literally like typos here and there. Wrong use of there.
Yeah.
Here and there. You know, nothing big, but the stories still come through, and the art really like brings everything together.
I guess excuses could fall under, you see someone, let's just use you an example again.
Jesus.
You created a good comic flow, and then just to see you now releasing more, publishing more, creating more, that could fall under excuses. I'm like, Mitch, where's my book?
Where's his book? I love that. Where's his book?
Yeah, I get the first copy. The first draft.
You don't want the first draft. If it has no words in it,
I don't even
yes.
want the first draft.
I just want something so I could say, all right, the excuses, it's not there anymore. He's doing stuff.
All right.
He's doing something.
You dropped that.
Shit. Sorry.
I guess this has become like a coincidental plug for my comic, I guess. We'll put a link in the bottom.
I mean, the shoe fits, right?
Yeah, I guess. All right, well, I guess if we're going into that, I guess we could just kind of explain my process of how I got it done. Because to be fair, before I uploaded anything, I was always very discouraged to write anything and put it out there in the world because I was doubtful of how people might judge it. Because, you know, when I'm writing something or when I'm drawing something, I want it to be perfect. And then I worked so hard to try to get it where it's at. At the time, I would get like pissed off if someone still critiqued it. Because in my mind, I'll be like, well, you have no idea how long it took me to get it to this point, and you're still saying it's not good enough? And I had to like get out of that way of thinking. Because at the end of the day, when I'm putting something out there, I'm going to have to understand, and everyone's going to have to understand, if you're putting something out there, wherever the hell it may be, everyone's going to have their own interpretation of it. But that doesn't mean you should let that stop you from doing what you got to do, whether it be drawing, writing, playing music, I don't know, writing an essay, performing any like athletic activity or anything
being
like that.
Being a creator.
Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like stuff like that. You shouldn't really focus too much about the people critiquing it or how bad it is. Just get it done, because the faster you get it done and the faster you fuck up, the faster you learn from those fuck ups and just continue going. You shouldn't dwell on like the mistakes that you made, whatever the hell it may be. You have to just kind of continue from there. And honestly speaking, like once I've actually like uploaded like the first like story or comic strip or whatever, it felt good because like, all right, something's there. And now with that something there, I can actually critique it myself. You know, like, all right, you know, this, because I remember my first comic strip I didn't like how I did like the lining, the pen lining or whatever. So I thought, all right, second issue, let me improve on that. Or I didn't like how I did the speech bubbles. Mm-hmm. All right, well, in the next one, I'll do that. And I try that out. And then I just continued on from there. Once that was done, I created another story and I uploaded that onto Webtoons. And then everything I've learned from the previous fuck-ups from my old book, I applied it to the new one. Which is kind of where I have, like my most recent comic strips now that I, you know, at the time stopped doing. I stopped uploading stuff. Even though I still had ideas and stuff written on paper for next issues, I just never went to do it. I mean, yeah, work got in the way, life got in the way, Corona hit like an atom bomb. So, stuff like that, kind of fucks with people's psyche and their sense of purpose or whatever. But at the end of the day, with like the doubts of the book, I ended up using these situations around me as excuses. Because even for myself, I can understand, like, I can sacrifice, not even sacrifice, I could dedicate at least 2 hours of that day to work on some stuff. Because when I look back on it now, and then you saw it too. Remember that one I did with the old dude talking to the kid and I drew it right in front of your face?
Yep.
It didn't really take that long. So remembering stuff like that, like, really doesn't take that long for me to kind of just get it out there. I can take an hour or two just to continue on from that. So, to continue with that. And then that's like a little example of like just understanding maybe like time management, dedication, and having some type of like tangible goal with whatever it is you're doing that can help alleviate doubt, which can help alleviate excuses.
We could go back and also use the conversation we were having last week about motivation.
I mean, I think this is
motivation would be an also key factor of excuses.
This seems to be turning into like an episode where we talk about our own personal issues with excuses, and then I guess we'll come back around. So, like, I guess, we already attacked Meech. We can talk about Jordan and his what is it, C++ or networking? What is it?
The A+ certification.
A+ certification. He has this big old book that he's supposed to be studying. He brings it up with him for every work shift and sits there and plays Minecraft the Monster Hunter the entire shift. The question is why? Why do you make the excuse?
I mean, right now during Corona, all the offices are closed, so there's no testing center available for me to go take the test.
Doesn't change the amount of knowledge.
I'm actually ready to just go take the test. It's just an option now when it opens up. Because I've studied it and then I've had my hands on. But like you said, I should have gotten it earlier. It was something that I had planned. But, hobbies got in the ways.
I thought you said hobby.
Hobbies.
No, hobbies. Being a gamer or so. Slight things that we enjoy. Entertainment. Getting wasted in a barbecue. What?
Oh,
Those were excuses.
Just taking joy in life. That doesn't count. Going to a family barbecue. Come on now. I gotta hold that against you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even hold that against you.
Yeah, don't kick yourself over that.
I mean, while I'm waiting for the burger, I could just read one quick sentence.
Now you're overdoing it. You have a big old textbook at the outing. It's gonna start smelling like smoked ham or whatever.
But that falls a line in where time management. Self-management of time. That's really all it is to it. If you want all these joys of life, manage it well, where you could have everything you want to do and still have your goal achieved.
I mean, a nice way to, I believe, to put it is, when you have your goal, you should focus more on not the goal itself, but how to get to that goal. So, for example, if someone's like reading a book, naturally someone will be like, oh, my goal is to finish this book. Or you could go, my goal is to read a chapter a day. Because that's more tangible. That's more doable. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could say, yeah, you're going to finish the book, but eventually you probably won't. Or it'll probably be too big of a task for you. And you might be a little doubt forever. But if you dedicate yourself to more, just read the chapters. The small things, baby steps. My goal is not to finish this book. My goal is to be able to read a chapter a day. And continuously read a chapter a day. And then bring it up to like 2 chapters a day. Or 2 or 3 chapters every other day or something, It's up to you. But wording the goals like that definitely do benefit the outcome. Because it clears your head better. Or like exercising. You could just be like, hey, Adam, what's your goal? I want to get fit. All right, well, how are you going to do that? oh, I'll do like these reps this day, these sets this day, do like 50, every day. And then I'll increase it from there. At least it's something more tangible, something you can actually quantify. And a lot of people tend to not quantify it because they put in this vague idea. And if you put in this very vague idea, it's kind of like it doesn't have to be done. You don't really have a goal, which means you can back out of it if you wanted to because it's technically not really there. It's so vague. I want to get fit. It's very vague.
It is.
So if you quit, it doesn't feel like you're quitting because you didn't quit from anything because you didn't define what it is that you quit from. And that's really what it is. Just mentally wording things better and actually giving yourself better goals and more tangible goals to achieve what it is that you want to do.
Baby steps.
I mean, I've made a ton of excuses in my life, so I know exactly, I know all about this shit. Like, jiu-jitsu, I've made so many excuses for that. Like, especially when I switched gyms, I made the most excuses. It was insane.
That was a big leap for you to switch gyms.
That switch, it was an intimidating switch. And then after going and kind of just getting the shit kicked out of me, every day I'd say, okay, I'm going to go train. And it was like, I'd give myself a bunch of reasons not to go instead of just finding one reason to go.
Yeah.
And I'd give myself a way out. I'm tired. Oh, I've been working all day. Yeah, that's what you do every day. You're going to work every day. If that's the case, you're not going to do anything. So, really, you just got to find a way. You got to find that one reason to do the thing that you're making excuses not to do. Whether that thing is your alarm clock in the morning or you're training at night. Everyone hits their snooze button instead of just turning off their alarm and getting up. Why? You're giving yourself an excuse to sleep 3 more minutes? What the hell is that going to do for you? Besides probably make you more tired or potentially make you late. Just get the hell up.
And I feel turning off the alarm is way better because then you're not giving yourself that safety net.
Yeah.
Because if you turn off the alarm, it's like, if I do go back to sleep, then there's nothing to wake me up. So I better get up.
Then there's the other thing. It's like, you're making excuses for why you're not doing something. The next person he's getting up. He's getting up at 5 a.m. and doing all the work that has to be done. He's staying up late writing those extra chapters. He's staying up late reading those extra chapters. It's like, if you don't do it, someone else is going to take your spot. So you better get up and get it.
It's not going to be given to you.
Nope, not at all. Shit, I guess then we should go into how doubt really plays a role in it. I subconsciously I know had I gone to train every day, I would have acclimated to the room. Eventually, I wouldn't have been getting beat up anymore. I would have just kind of been doing well. Yet, I let that doubt, that fear of just not having a good one day stop me from going in and getting days of training.
But the funny thing about that is in a way, doubt is the fear of inevitable failure. You can't escape failure. You're going to fail. That's inevitable. It's going to happen. And then just having a fear of something that's going to come anyway, it could really get to you. But once you're able to kind of understand that I'm going to do this and I'm going to fuck up 70% of the time in the beginning, and you're okay with that, that helps out.
Basically, I'm going to fail to the best of my ability until I get it to a point where I'm happy with what it is.
Mm-hmm. Because at least you're learning from the fucking failures.
Exact.
And that's what it is. People are just so afraid to fail, but it's going to happen. And it's okay.
You could also say they're fearful of the critiques that people will give them.
Mm-hmm.
So, instead of being fearful, using that as an excuse, use that as fuel, as motivation to improve and to undermine their critique. Like, okay, yeah, I messed up my form. I came in next week. Form is perfect. And what?
People need to approach life and their objectives the way babies approach a ledge with their parents standing at the end. They just throw themselves off.
Mm-hmm. You ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
The test with the glass floor and all that shit? Yeah.
Babies are just going to throw themselves off. They just do it. You know? And sure, maybe they don't know. But we don't know if we're going to fail. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad. What we do know is that it's something that we want to do. So why not just go and do it?
Instead of spending all day shooting fireworks outside.
Oh my God.
Freaking ridiculous.
Don't even, no, that's the worst.
That's the worst. Let's not even get into that. But honestly speaking, like, yeah, it's just changing your frame of mind will benefit you greatly. Instead of worrying so much about this vague goal, give yourself plausible goals for today. Like, and that will lead to the end goal. Like, all right, what are you going to do today? What can you do today that can help you improve later on? All right, I'll draw like 3 pictures, like actual studying foreign pictures today. So that way in the long run, my art can look, will show improvement. And I can come up with better ideas for frames and angles and stuff for whatever story I'm doing. If I'm not going to write a chapter, let me at least write the cliff notes of what I want in that chapter. So at least it's there. At least it's on paper. So then the next day I already have something I can continue from that. I'm not going to, or one can't just be fit right away. But I want to make sure I could do 10 push-ups.
Yeah, take the steps necessary to get to your goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Take the 10 push-ups. Don't worry about getting fit. Don't worry about losing weight. Just worry about doing 10 push-ups. That's it. And then once you do 10 push-ups, all right, cool. Keep doing that. Now do 15. Now do 20. And just continue from there. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Don't worry about the person next to you can do 100. Easy. Don't worry about that. Because at one point, that person couldn't even do 10 at one point. And they kept going. Just think of it like that, man.
Yeah, and setting the small goals and not making excuses for why not to do them. Not letting doubt creep into your mind and help those excuses.
And at the same time, like, when you do the smaller goals, even when you fail, it's a smaller failure as opposed to a big failure. Because at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I couldn't do 10. I did 8. All right, I'm down 2. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. And you could just take it from there.
Actually, in my mind, that'd be success.
Yeah, I did 8.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get to the goal, but I almost got there.
Better than 0.
And I didn't quit, and I didn't make an excuse.
It's better than 0.
That's what it comes down to. Putting in the time to the things you want to succeed at.
And that's if you truly want it. And that's the thing. You have to know that you truly want it. And once again, you don't know if you truly want it unless you try.
That's another thing.
You have to try it out.
All right.
And if you don't like it, fine. You tried it. At least you know now. And you can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to fail at something, learn how to fail faster. Fail faster so that way you can just know what is it you failed at and then keep it moving. Don't dwell on the failure. All right, I ain't do this right. Keep going.
It's like imagine someone trains for 5 years because they believe they want to be a fighter. Right? Right now they have their first fight. They get punched in the face and realize they don't want to be a fighter. You just wasted 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, dude. You need to figure it out earlier than that. You should have figured that out in sparring.
And at the same time, if you really wanted to be a fighter, instead of focusing so much about being a fighter, just worry about taking a hit. Because that's going to come if you're a fighter. Can you take a hit? And can you be okay with taking multiple hits over and over and over and over? If that's not for you, then don't be a fighter. If you want to be in the fighter field, be a commentator, be a coach, be something else. If you still want to be in that field. But if you feel like, all right, I'm not too happy with getting knocked in the head, for like hours on end or whatever during a round, like, oh, it's not for me. It's like, all right, fine. Well, at least you freaking know.
That is true.
I think this is the stew part where we kind of just...
Where we just kind of like think
breathe,
about it?
Yeah. Just breathe in.
I'll make some cuts.
No. No, this is a straightforward one. You know, we don't do that anymore.
We do it live.
Well, kind of. Kind of. No, but what it comes down to is just stop making excuses. Stop letting doubt fuel your excuses. Stop letting all of those things stop you from going out there and getting what you want. You know, how many times you say, I'm going to get up early, and then you let the fact that sleeping is nice get in the way of getting up early. Just get up and go. Do the work. You know, and also don't worry about like praise. A lot of people like to, as they're like going for something, they like to be praised in the midst of it. They like that encouragement, but sometimes you kind of just have to encourage yourself. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing this. Yo, I did 10 push-ups yesterday. I did 15 today. Tomorrow I'm going to do 20. Then you go hit that. You know, like you have to kind of pull from yourself at times because people around you are not going to do it. It's not going to be enough.
It's never going to be enough because their own personal idea of you is not your idea of you.
Mm-hmm. It's like you go, you compete, and you get that silver medal. And everybody's like, oh, man, you did so good. Well, I didn't train all these hours to get silver. And so what are you going to do? You're going to let that silver, like, you're going to make excuses for why you got silver and then let that silver be an excuse for you not to train as hard next time? Or are you going to keep training as hard or harder just to get to your goal? Or are you going to be doubtful once again and then not train as hard? Because if I fail and this time I didn't train as hard, well, now I have an excuse.
I mean, you made it that far to silver. What's stopping you from going beyond that? At least you made it there.
Yeah.
And that's the first step. Next time, now you know what to do or what to improve on to get past silver. It's better than nothing. And I think the biggest thing that's very helpful for anyone, for any goals that they want in life, it's very simple. Write it down.
Yeah.
That helps out so much.
Make a memo.
Write it down. Make it physical. Make it part of this world. Don't leave it as a thought. Because when it's a thought, it disappears. But once you're able to physically put it down into your world and you can read from it, then it helps. Document it down. Write down your goal. Waking up early. Eating right. Exercising. Writing, a book. Reading a book. Write it down. You have no idea how much that helps out.
Yeah, you go back and you look at you can see your progress.
Yeah, and once you can actually physically or visually see your progress, that's a boost.
Yeah, it's empowering. It really is, because you go back and you're like, man, I've been doing this for this long.
Yeah.
I've done all of this. I'm not stopping. I want to build on this now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to build a damn pyramid. I'm going to build something great.
Because sometimes people tend to forget how long something is. You're working on it, tend to forget. You go, wow, I've been doing this for 4 months now. And like, look how I was month 1 compared to now. Like I'm improving. Don't worry so much about the end goal. Just worry about improving. And that's definitely a better way to go than just sitting there doubtful, making excuses, to improve your life to your liking.
I think that's a good way to end it, taking it day by day.
Yeah.
Follow your progression day by day, and you will get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess, Meech, you can sign us out.
All right, I think that was a good one. I guess we'll plug in my comic at the end. But yeah, we'll just leave it on to that. You guys have a good one as you drop that.
Peace.
Peace.